Hi there, it's Dina, and I want to share something I wrote recently with you. Let me set it up for context. I recently received a post from a former business associate and professional friend that I knew pre-transition. I really wanted to share with them what I had been going through, because in that part of my life, I've really been kind of underground. I haven't said much, I haven't done much. So what I did was I wrote them back a little bit of a long response, but guess what? It said some of the things I needed to say, and it said some things I needed to hear. So with your permission, I'm going to read it to you. Thank you so much for reaching out. Your message means a lot to me, genuinely. I've been keeping a low profile lately, and not many people check in these days. So hearing from you was a welcome and unexpected kindness. I wanted to reply to your inquiry with both honesty and respect. So here I go. Yeah, it's a bit longer than I expected, but I've never met an adjective I didn't like, and brevity isn't my natural habitat when there's truth to be told. To be absolutely clear, I've been navigating a major life shift. I've been working through my gender transition, not in a splashy or public way, but slowly and privately and deliberately. I haven't made a formal announcement, and I really don't plan to. I've just started telling people when they ask, much like you have. I suppose it's my way of honoring the truth without inviting a major spectacle. I also haven't been doing the things that I've done professionally in the past, partly because of burnout, but partly because the landscape has shifted, and every third person with a diploma and access to an AI app now seems convinced that they can outwrite and out-organize anyone who has actual life experience. And suddenly, anyone who's ever hosted a kid's birthday party thinks that they can run a full-scale, professional caliber event. The irony. The new tools to create become more accessible. An appreciation for craft and nuance sometimes goes by the wayside. So, I took a step back. I've worked some odd jobs, I've kept my head above water, and spent a lot of time listening to myself, to others, trying to separate what I need to express from what I've pressured to produce. So that all said, I've stayed engaged in the ways that feel most aligned for me. I've been doing volunteering and advocacy work within the LGBT and then trans communities, spaces where my energy just feels so much more purposeful than performative. Now, if you've seen the movie Will Harper, there's a moment that really hits home for me. It speaks to something I've experienced individually. That you can know somebody for years, even decades, and still not knows what beats right next to their hearts. And that's been my truth. I spent a long time being known in various fragments. And lately, I've been letting people who've known of me begin to know me. Professionally, I go by Dina Walters now. That name isn't just personal, it's declarative. It's my way of saying, this is who I am, and I'm not going to dilute this for the sake of palatability. I'm still my legal birth name, last name, but professionally and personally, I'm Dina. A perfect example of how this all plays out is a mutual associate of ours recently connected with this version of me online. This version's stylish, fully present, and doing the work. And she didn't realize it was actually somebody she'd known for years, just in a little modified presentation. That kind of delayed recognition has been a quiet affirmation. It reminds me that who I am isn't somebody new. It's somebody I've allowed to be visible. Mel and I, we're still walking this road together. 4 years ago during Ferndale Pride, we renewed our vows in a beautiful ceremony that just meant so much to me. It was much a public celebration as a private act of resistance, saying, we're still here and we still choose each other. That all said, this journey hasn't been without its challenges. We are like so many couples who evolve individually, learning how to evolve together. And there's just no neat script for this kind of change, but there is a whole lot of love, history, honest conversation, and a few bad jokes thrown in for good measure. We're still working through it all, day by day, with open hearts and a willingness to grow. Last summer, I got to do something I never previously thought I'd have the courage to do. I went and canvassed as Dina on behalf of the group Equality Michigan. Day in and day out, I knocked doors. Over 5,000 voters contacts. I showed up on porches in neighborhoods that were mostly welcoming and a few not. I asked people to stand for justice, for equality and dignity, to say their voices and their votes that hate won't win. It was equal parts exhausting and exhilarating. And the best part about it, I finally did something as my authentic self. And the world didn't fall apart. In fact, sometimes it cracked more wide open to let in the light. This is, without question, a dangerous time for trans and non-binary people. The rhetoric is quite loud, and the policies are quite cruel, and the emotional toll, it's quite intense. I haven't broadcast my transition in my former professional circles for that very reason. Now, I'm not ashamed of who I am, but I am cautious. I don't want to paint a target on my back or invite harm to myself or those I stand beside just to kind of satisfy someone's curiosity. But that said, I'm not hiding either. I still host a podcast. It's called Pride and Perspectives, which you can find on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. This is one of the few spaces where I can show up as my whole self without apology and still offer something I find of value to the world. It's a space for big ideas and lived truths, and I pour a lot of my heart into it. As a fellow speaker, I want you to know that I'll be doing a keynote for a major Michigan corporation's Pride Month programming. My contact over there says I have over 400 people signed up to view the program via Zoom. But I won't, and I can't sugarcoat it. This is a hard road walked. Transition isn't just emotional. It's wildly expensive. Our medical system is often gate-kept, inconsistent, and can be dehumanizing when dealing with some people. And beyond medical costs, there's a quieter toll that we all play. Lost job opportunities, strained relationships, safety concerns, housing instability, and more. Every step forward feels like a negotiation between becoming and surviving. I don't have a safety net or a trust fund, but I do have resilience and a lot of practice in the art of persistence. But the alternative, staying small, staying hidden, actually costs much more. So now that you know this part of my story, what you choose to do with it is totally out of my hands. I ask, though, that you exercise discretion. Not secrecy, just care. This isn't a chapter I'm ashamed of. In fact, I'm just not sending press releases out about it. Once again, thank you for reaching out, and thank you for receiving all this with such grace. I'm still here, still evolving, still building towards something, and I'm grateful for the chance to reconnect. I still do coffee one-on-ones, so if you'd like to, my phone number is still the same. And now, this concludes my TED Talk. With best wishes and great appreciation, Dina.